alternative endings that didn't happen for a couple of films, blah blah blah,
Yeah. Oh, cool.
which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
go down the
Um, but yeah, we were talking about what the Greasy Strangler guy made a new movie.
yeah, Ebony and Ivory. I guess, historical fiction, I guess. I from what I derive is Stevie Wonder and Paul McCartney did meet at some Scottish place or whatever, some little cabin to discuss what became the song Ebony and Ivory. But
Oh,
it's
wow, that's
obviously through
really good.
Hosking's filter. It's like two people that barely look like the people, and they're just having insane dialogue. It's like The Lighthouse, but with Paul McCartney and Stevie Wonder, but way, way, way more insane than The
Okay,
Lighthouse could
that's
ever be.
really interesting. I didn't really think that that's what that was.
Yeah. A lot of
Uh,
dong, a lot of fake. These guys have prosthetic dongs on that are like ridiculous. That make Dirk Diggler's like put stats to shame.
a lot of
Doing like
dongs.
jumping jacks and shit. Like it's fucking insane. It's
So the
insane.
so the ratio from like dong to titty is probably out of control.
There's no titty. It's just
So it's just
dong.
all dong.
A lot of dong.
It's just a lot of dong. What's up, Mike?
What's up,
What's going
guys?
on?
Yeah, you caught us in mid dong talk.
What were we talking about? I just missed it.
The Greasy Strangler
Watching
guy.
the new, yeah, Hoskins movie, Ebony and Ivory, which is,
I,
and
I
it's completely insane.
I'm completely lost on this. What's this? What is this? What's going
The
on?
guy that did the Greasy Strangler,
Oh
Jim
yeah.
Hoskins,
Okay, I
and Beverly
saw the Greasy
Loughlin.
Strangler.
Yeah, he's got a movie out this year, Ebony and Ivory, which is about Stevie Wonder and Paul McCartney meeting to talk about making that song. And
Really?
it's fucking like completely absurdist, like Lynchian. There's just like it's insane. It's completely insane. And they both have these humongous prosthetic dongs while they're jumping on the beat. It's fucking nuts. I
It's a
would
re
never, like I was saying to Sam, I'd never watch it again, but I love that it exists.
it's a re it's the return of the dong. 28 years later,
Yeah.
that fucking prosthetic on. I mean, it has to be a prosthetic. I can't imagine.
That's the only thing I heard about that movie was about that dog.
Yeah, you
The
didn't
year
watch
of the
it?
dong.
I didn't see it. I was I don't. It's how many is that? That's the third one.
Third one, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I like the first one enough. I don't even think I saw the second one, but I definitely heard about that dong. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
100% true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean it's like we were talking about Boogie Nights. It's like when he took that fucking dick out, So it's like anytime, people compare frontal nudity for guys and girls is different. Like unless a girl's like on her back spread eagle, like it's just hair basically. Like if you have enough hair, it's just basically like a dick is just a fucking dick that's in your face. And welcome back, Mike Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Anyway, to swing into that. Also, here's a man that worked for Mr. Skin.
That is true. I did write for Mr. Skin for a spell. I love I
You're coming in a little low for some reason.
hold on, let me adjust everything. It's been a while. Turn up check. Better? Is it getting better?
It's getting
Even
better, yeah.
better.
Yeah.
All right, check. Better, worse, better, worse, better,
No,
worse,
it's better.
better.
Yeah. Is that as high as it goes?
Let me see. Let me see. It's been a while since I used to. I'm figuring this all out.
Welcome to the new year.
Check. Better or worse?
I think we could live
About
with
the
that, right?
same.
Or I can't.
Yeah.
Let me. I'm turning up the monitor on my thing. Better or worse?
Yeah, that's better.
Turn this up more. Better or worse?
Same.
Same.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me take a
I don't want to miss any of these golden nuggets.
look.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I've got a lot to say. For all your viewer. I mean, do you
Oh, that sounds better. Maybe if you get close to it.
check. One,
That's
two,
better.
check.
Yeah, if you're on it, I
Yeah.
guess.
Let me look at my audio here. All right, that's going through
Get
right
right
now.
up on there and French that
Built
thing.
in, it's built in my save as
That's it.
system.
I want to hear that mustache
Uh,
rub that
it's
that
for it. It was for. I'm sure you guys will appreciate this. It was for my Jimmy Hart Mouth of the South Halloween costume that I did this year,
Oh shit.
Oh, that's fucking
Nice.
fantastic.
which is funny. I mean, it's just when I hate when I'm only 45, but you definitely start to feel old when like. So I give plasma for money now. Like that's the point of my life I'm at, where one of my side hustles is
For
essentially
TVs?
selling myself to science, and
All right.
I was explaining to people like who I am, and none of the girls like the plasma because they're all in their 20s. They have no idea. And one, it's the 70-year-old black dude in the bed next to me. He's like, "Oh yeah, I know Jimmy Hart. Oh, I know him. Yeah, the Mega Powers. I get that." I'm like, "Oh, that's my peer group now."
That is true. Like, yo, you sometimes you drop a reference, and this has
Uh,
happened in like the last 10 years.
yeah.
Like for example, like my band made two t-shirts. One is a Faces of Death knockoff, and the other one is like a Midnight Madness homage. And I was just like, holy shit. I'm like, no one even knows any of these things. I'm
Uh,
like, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
Like, what
I don't
the
know. I feel
fuck?
like Face to Death though should be a rite of passage for any horror fan
Yeah.
because I mean, whatever you think of the quality of them, everybody remembers the first time that you actually saw it.
Yes.
And mine was at the video store. There were two video stores in my neighborhood. And there was Village Video, which was a little bit more family friendly, a little bit cleaner. And then there was Popcorn Video. Popcorn Video was down the block. And Popcorn Video looked like it hadn't been dusted in years. And that's the place you went for all the good kung fu pictures and horror pictures. And they were just playing Faces of Death on the in store system. Like, not
that's
giving a
bold.
fuck that you shouldn't be doing that. And we
Yeah.
all stood there, and we were all of 12, and we all stood there and watched it with the guys. And nobody
Yeah.
said, "Hey, I don't think you guys should be in here. I think you guys should leave. This is too much for you guys. Yes, let us watch it."
Not even. He was probably there smoking a cigarette, ashing next to your cheek, probably while you watched that.
Absolutely, absolutely. It was that kind of place. It was that kind of place.
Yo,
You
we
boys
would.
want to go behind that curtain back
Yeah.
there when you're done too. There's some other
It was
movies.
Yeah.
they had so Village Video had the just a separate section that was adult that you had to kind of go in, but it was right by the laserdisc section, and I was actually a kid with a laserdisc player, so they always thought that I was trying to look at the porno when I was like 14 years old, but I was just
Yeah.
looking at like 20 laserdiscs
I
that they
can't
had there.
believe you had a
Sure,
laser
sure,
disc.
kid. You have
I
a
wanted
laser
one.
disc. Sure, kid.
I was 14. That's what I wanted for Christmas that year because I wanted to watch stuff in its original aspect ratio. So this, I guess this movie obsession goes pretty far back. But the other place, Popcorn, had like a whole room with a door. They had it was like going to a gas station bathroom. You had to go up there and ask for the key to get in there.
Yo, so growing up, right? So like in Queens, like Queens, New York, like I'd go visit like my grandmother, and they were, I mean, what a great time. There was like three video stores like within 2 blocks, and like you knew every single one. There was like one there that had, whatever, and then the second one had something better, and then there was one at the end called Galaxy Video that had like the wrestling stuff. So then I would
Okay.
go like get like the like I don't even think Royal Rumble. It was just like really like old 1985, 86 like
Well,
fucking
yeah, it would have been Royal Rumble, all the big events because they'd come out on video, like, but it was, and they'd have like the best of, which was all the jobber matches. It'd be like the best of the Big Boss Man, and be beating up some guy in red trunks. Then he'd be beating up some guy in black trunks. And
Shout
There's
out to
always
Iron
Pedro Morales.
the last one would be fucking Brooklyn
the
Brawler.
Brooklyn Brawler, yeah.
My
Yeah.
favorite jobber of all time because he actually had a gimmick,
Yeah.
but he was nowhere near Roddy Piper level or
He was
anything.
he was 0 and 99 every
He
Saturday.
had a
That's who
couple, didn't
Yeah.
he? Have a couple of
Iron Mike
jobber
Sharp.
gimmicks. That guy,
I
Iron
believe
Mike
you're
Sharp.
correct. I don't know the whole history, but yeah, like you learn that as you get older. Like, oh, that was a dude. Like he'd been around, but the Brooklyn Brawler became his thing,
Yeah.
for better or worse.
Mike, welcome back, man. It's been a long time. I remember we had you on because like I was such a big fan of the Halloweenies podcast that you were on, which you're no longer on. But I stopped listening.
We can tell that. Nah, let's not. That's
I
you
mean
should
that.
do that for your Patreon. Do you have a
Okay,
Patreon?
no,
I will
we
tell the whole sordid story of why I'm not with the Halloweenies podcast on that one.
and it's like I said when we had that discussion, it's like a regional thing. So you guys are from like Illinois, like Chicago area, right?
So they were. It was that's what's interesting about that show was Mike Rothman, who I always kind of saw as the de facto leader of that group. He was from Florida. I believe both of the Gerber brothers were from Florida as well.
Michael Myers Rothman.
Michael Myers Rothman, and they all, but somehow they all ended up in Chicago together. Like
Oh, okay.
I was the only native Chicagoan on that show, and I
You're the
lived
only one
in.
with a cheap trick tattoo.
Not yet, but it's close enough, close enough. But to your point, like you were talking about how you're from Long Island.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
live in a part of Chicago. It's a neighborhood called Beverly. That anybody who I've known who's come visited me from New York says that my neighborhood's more similar to Long Island. It feels like the suburbs,
Cool, cool.
even though
Yeah.
it is a city proper. Like I have a 60655 zip code, 773 area code, which are all like the tests that these jagoffs give you when they want to decide if you actually live in a city or not. And like I may have never lived like in any of the cool neighborhoods, but I've lived in Chicago proper. I wasn't born in
No,
Arlington Heights or any of the other suburbs that are out there. So I was always able to lay claim for that. Not that I cared that much, but everybody else really seemed to.
but so like I mean, growing up, like it just seems like you're very much into everything that we love. Like you were in music, which I still play in a band. You were in a band called the Romeros, which is super cool. You were also a Cheap Trick band, or just the podcast, or
I had a Cheap Trick tribute band that I started with my friend Pat. We were both Cheap Trick nuts, and we finally started one. There wasn't a Cheap Trick tribute in town, so we started one, and we just had a hard time keeping a Rick Nielsen around because I'm a shit lead guitar player like that. You know what I'm talking about?
same.
I don't have a lot of regrets in life, but I should have taken time to become a better lead player. And
Wow, me too. I feel like I completely agree. Every time I look at the guitar and I'm like, I'll just play these chords and I'll someone else do something cooler.
well, sure, and you're a pretty good singer too. Like, I mean, no, I don't want to turn this into like every Howard Stern interview now, where the guest starts kissing Howard Stern's ass. But I really like your band.
Don't you think
And
it's because your father wasn't nice to you?
Yeah.
well, let me tell you, and
In a
and
sense.
yeah, yeah. Do you think he's such a yenta now? I mean, I
Yeah.
still listen to him. I listen to him every day.
You listen,
So,
you're talking to like lifelong Stern fans. So I only real fans like us could criticize what it is now.
Yeah.
absolutely. And to be fair, and I always say this. I know this is gonna be a long episode where we never stay on topic. I can see it already. What I say about
We're
Howard
good
Stern
at
is
that.
when Howard Stern passes away, and it's gonna happen. I mean, unfortunately for him, it'll probably be another 20 years. He'll have to
Yeah.
live the rest of his miserable life. He's gonna be remembered, I think, mostly as an advocate for free speech. Now he did it in a very crass, very Howard Stern sort of way, but I was watching that infamous appearance on Leno where Siskel and Ebert are on afterwards, and Leno's obviously uncomfortable, and he's got the two lesbians trying to kiss.
Oh yeah.
And it's crass, but honestly, what he's saying is, what's the big deal about having two women kiss on television? So like, no matter what happens in what his show has become now, he'll always be remembered as that. And also, I don't think I'd want him to be doing the same shit now at his age.
You don't want
Because
baloney on the ass?
it would just be embarrassing in a weird way. Not that I feel like you can't continue to be crass into your old age.
Yeah.
Like,
But the girls he's going to bring in are like could be his grandchildren's age. It's
yeah,
just fine. It'd be a little
different.
odd.
It's different.
But he should be remembered like Lenny Bruce or anybody like that in history for pushing the envelope. Absolutely. I think the biggest problem I have is it was just such a conscious, like calculated way they shifted gears and like let's not have Gilbert God, let's not have a lot of these people back.
Hard
And
turn.
it's like, come on, man. You don't have to throw baloney at the ass anymore, but you could still do something edgy, you know?
You could have the actual Bigfoot on instead of the person like doing the voice. Like I don't want to hear somebody doing Bigfoot or
I
Wendy's voice,
I hate I hate the impressions. I hate the fake
knocking on the door.
Bigfoot. The knocking on the door. I hate it. And there was a point. So actually, one of the guys who was into Romero's with me, my friend Bob, he was always a bigger Stern fan than I was. I was aware of Stern from I watched him on the Channel 9 show because we would
Yeah.
get WWOR here in,
Yes.
and I think my uncle told my mom to watch him, and my mom would watch him, and my mom would always whine what a pig he was, but would watch him every Saturday night at the same
Sure.
time.
My mom
watched-
too.
Yeah. She loved when he had Richard Simmons on. That was always her favorite when Richard
Yeah.
Simmons would be on the show. Then I
the
was
turkey.
I would never be up early enough to listen to him on WCKG.
Same, yeah.
I knew him from the E Show.
Yes.
And then through YouTube, and Beetlejuice became my favorite Whack Packer, like a lot of other people.
Good for
I'm like-
you.
He and I share a
Good for you,
birthday.
pal.
We're both on June.
Do you really?
Me and Beetlejuice.
Yo, shout out to Lester Green, wherever you
Lester
are.
Green, 1968, and I'm 1980. But then I got
68.
Sarah, my girlfriend. She has Sirius. Gave me, and I bought a card that had the Sirius app. She goes, "Oh, I'm subscribed. You can use it." And now it's all I listen to in a car, and she can't stand him. She hates Howard Stern. So I only listen to that. I listen to that when I'm out doing Uber Eats.
I have the opposite, right? So like my girlfriend got a car with the app, mine ran out, and I never thought that I would ever come to I just never thought. I was like, I'm gonna just follow him to the end of the contract. It's like when I watched Jason X. Like I'm like, okay. I'm like, I know it's gonna be fucking terrible, but I just went through like fucking 9 of these movies. I'm gonna watch Jason X. And
That's the endurance.
once it ran out, but it just turned into something so different. And I just slowly let go, but like she ended up liking the show, which was like weird too.
Well, because she has a different aesthetic than you do, right? Because he's a little more square now. Like we liked the edge a little bit more.
We did, yeah. So like, because I was trying to like explain to her, I was like, we would listen to like some of the old stuff, like like now they were such sticklers on YouTube, like they would take them down. Now you could find, and now it's like I think they were just like whatever. So yeah, she knew the more tame him. So like it was just different, like that experience, and like now when I jump in the car, I'll still listen to some things, but it's just like Lamette, like I hate them all. I don't
I
care.
don't like my friend Bob and I do this because he's my guy who I know who I can text to about Stern stuff. Like I remember earlier this year when he came back this year, he was whining for a half hour about the spiders in his basement. And I had this moment like, maybe he should have just quit. Maybe he should have just hung it up because this is annoying. It's not even funny. And like Chris Wilding, I don't think he's all that great. Mehmet, correct? Annoying. Who else? Oh, I hate fucking John Blitt. Fucking can't stand John Blitt.
It just really, it had its time, and like I was just like a band had its era, you know? Like I'm okay knowing like the Misfits will never be the Misfits again. I'm okay knowing Alkaline Trio's best album is From Here to Infirmary, you know?
I love From Here to Infirmary too. And some people even think that's not because there's people, especially around here, who knew them. That's about when I got into them, who knew them from Maybe I'll Catch Fire.
Oh yeah.
God damn it.
God damn
I
it.
like
All the
I
Asian
like,
Man stuff, yeah.
Yeah, I think I like stuff when it's a little bit more produced. And I think like I had
Me-
forgotten about what a good song Trucks and Trains is.
Oh, so good. I mean, that band, just they're arguably my favorite like modern day band. I mean, I could, I listen. Infirmary is my favorite, but I can follow them. I anytime they come around, I watch them. I get every album. I know every. I mean, I'll fucking sit here and turn this into an Alkaline Trio podcast, and Langham will kill himself.
I'll mention to you, I tuned out at Crimson. Crimson was like the last one that I bought. And the joke I always make, I always say, once they actually started believing they were vampires, is when I was done with Alkaline Trio.
They're out of that now.
When they lean a little too heavy into like looking like a goth band, despite that they didn't really sound like one. They were still writing pop stuff. But then every once in a while, like I'll hear something that was Crimson's probably what, 15, 20 years ago now?
That was 2005.
Yeah.
20 years ago.
But then I'll hear a song and I'm they're still good. They still got it. Well, I know you're a Guided by Voices fan as well.
Yeah.
They were my guys like around Isolation Drills era. And
Isolation Drills is my favorite. It's fucking so good.
Well, that splits the difference between that lo-fi era that everybody loves, which
Yep.
I enjoy too, and the big production. Because even though I get into them around Do the Collapse, I don't love that. And I love Rick Ocasek, obviously. I don't love that record as much as I love Isolation Drills. Isolation Drills sounds like a Cheap Trick record. But to that point about Guided by Voices, right around, so, they had their final shows here in Chicago. Well, first final shows. Or maybe that might even be their second run. And
that makes sense.
Then they came back, and I went to a show to see them. And it used to be when I used to see I ended up on. Have I ever told you the story about when I ended up on stage with Guided by Voices?
Is this when they had a bar on stage?
No.
Okay.
I was
because you were, Chicago's #1 bartender. That's
true. What was it? The Chicago's Best Bartender and the AV Club's Worst News Writer. Those are two titles that I hold. Guided by Voices, they would do these little 3-run tours. And my friend Dan and I, hey, let's take a weekend off. Let's follow them around. So the first night's in Columbus, Ohio. And I'll always remember my friend Dan saying to me, hey, Mike, let's make such a spectacle out of ourselves tonight that the band remembers us over the course of the weekend. So it's a GV show, so we're loaded.
What a terrible idea, but go ahead.
I don't know how it happened. I can't tell you. But all of a sudden, now this is also the weekend after the Rick James Chappelle Show sketch had premiered. Because every night, Bob Power to be on stage loaded talking about, I'm Rick James, bitch, I'm Rick James, bitch. Well, all of a sudden, Bob Powers said, I hear Ryan Adams is here. Ryan Adams is here. And they ended up pulling me on stage because I looked like Ryan Adams. And
that's so funny.
I became known as the Ryan Adams guy in the Guided by Voices community. And then I ended up on stage all 3 nights.
Way cooler than now to be recognized as him, though.
Well, unfortunately, for better or worse, Ryan Adams and I have a lot in common in our careers. So
true. Man, I remember seeing. I'll tell you this. I think the first time I was actually aware of Guided by Voices was when they did that HBO show Reverb, which no one remembers.
I was just watching. Well, there's good clips of Cheap Trick from the Metro.
Yeah.
On that show, and I believe
Weezer. Yeah, I remember, there's a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, Reverb was a great show.
Very cool. Funny enough, so we played a show Saturday locally, and some guy that has never seen us. And sometimes when people don't have a reference of what universe we come from, they come up with 2 really bizarre bands to put together. And he was like, yo, he's like, I fucking love your band. He's like, it's like if Foo Fighters and Cheap Trick had a baby. And I was like, what? I don't think so, but I love both those bands, so I'll take it.
I mean, that's a nice compliment to have.
Yeah,
but like,
I'll take it.
For me, about you guys is like, I don't know where I could place you, but you're pop punk, I guess. Is that a fair assessment?
I just like, I tell people we're like a rock band, because I feel like we never felt punk enough to be punk. And a friend of mine said you guys are an indie rock band living in a punk rock universe. And that's kind of like what Long Island is.
I think that's fair, but you guys are more exciting than your average indie rock music. That's the thing. You write those big hooks. That's what I'm impressed with your songwriting, is that the hooks are there. They're huge.
Yeah, I try.
I always got like a Lemonheads, like.
Oh, I mean, come on.
Too. Like
that's the DNA.
90s like rock, but like everything is, I don't know. It's also so tight and so in your face in the best way possible. Like it's a wall. You do have a wall of sound going with the keyboards and everything.
Yeah.
But it's never too proggy. I don't know.
I'll tell you this, to go back to your hometown here. The band that influenced the most with that sound were the Pumpkins. Like the Pumpkins to me had the hooks. They had the guitar. Like to me, I always wanted like loud guitars with like melody. And like that's always what I looked at. Like, you know, I mean, obviously sonically we don't sound like them, but you know, when
Thankfully,
like
you're much better. I just never liked the Pumpkins. And you are a better singer than Billy Corrigan. I will put that on record.
Better interviewer too.
No, oh, please. He's got a great podcast. But I would take vocal lessons from Melissa Cross. No one's gonna listen to this. She ain't gonna listen to this, right? Did I say anything? I'm not even gonna say it. Never mind. I'll tell you off air what you.
Yeah. Tune
Yeah,
in to the
but
after show.
uh, but anyway, going back to the podcast, you joined the Halloweenies around the time that you guys did Friday the
It
13th,
was
and
2020. It was COVID. I recorded the first episode. It was daylight savings time, and it was when we were still. You wanted to be in a room with each other to do podcasts because, and I do sort of believe that there is a different energy that you get
absolutely, yeah,
when you're in a room with each
we're
other. Like
we're still upset you couldn't make it.
exactly. I mean, I would have loved. You know, I'll tell you what. You would have caught me 5 years ago. I would have done something stupid like flown out just to do this.
You
Flown
would have
out.
been
You know,
very
worked at
disappointed.
night. Flown out. Flew back and then went back to work the next day and
Yeah,
bragged about it like it was something special.
yeah.
So they brought me on for. I had guests on a couple. I did Nightmare on Elm Streets 5 and 6. I think because nobody else wanted to talk about Nightmare on Elm Streets 5 or 6. They gave me like the two of the worst sequels, even though I mean, relating to what we're talking about later in the episode, I do believe that even the worst Elm Street sequel is better than maybe the best Halloween sequel.
I will say Elm Street really, at its worst, is still very creative. And maybe
Yeah.
six, maybe Freddy's Dead was like like to me, I can go 1 through 5 on Elm Street, and they're still really entertaining. Even the
Absolutely.
Malign 2, where like the prosthetics, like the effects on that, I'm like,
Well,
that's
he's
just
still
fucking cool.
scary in part 2.
Yeah.
You can't deny that. And actually, 2's not bad. 2's just a weird
I like
anomaly.
to.
And I don't even want to go into like, I get it. Every journalist thinks that they discovered that Freddy's Dead is, or Freddy's Revenge is the gay one. I get it. I understand that at point. Yes, 100%. I mean, there was always something kind of under the surface about it, but it's more so that Freddy's still scary in that one. The special effects are still good, but the problem is that it breaks so many of the rules, and it's not even rules that came later in the series. It's rules that are almost especially established in the first one, mostly that Freddy
Right.
can't come in to the real world
Yes.
and that he's seeking revenge. So why would he be going after?
Why would he go to a pool party?
Yeah, but absolutely, it's still like you said about the creativity. Like that's the
Why would he go to a pool party?
Yeah.
I
And
love
it's
it.
a lot of fun.
I
He is
I
scary. It's got a campy fun to it. Like I
but
love it. The same way I
it's
love like Texas Chainsaw too. It's just like a different
it's the
kind of
imagination, right? Like all bets are off with how you could do stuff. It's like Saw. Saw like is cool because visually, even if the movie's kind of like ridiculous, you're like, oh yeah, but like they ripped that dude's nipples off. You know what I mean? Like you remember these random ass things. And Nightmare was like that, where even I still will go the first 5, like I said, it's just until Freddy's Dead, where I remember watching it and thinking like, okay,
yeah.
we're good. We're good. Shout out to Lisa Zane though. She Stone Cold Fox.
That's what that was Pat was saying. My friend Pat just watched them all because and I should say my friend Pat, one of my closest friends. We've been in bands together. We currently do the Drinks on Monday podcast, which is we brought back, after my we don't need to go into after my scandal. We brought back Drinks on Monday, which it's a concept that every group of guys had about their first podcast. Like, what if we all sat in a kitchen and drank and recorded our conversation? He just bought the box set of the new Blu-rays, the 4K. So he bought the old ones because they were on sale, and he watched them all, and he's like, yeah, Lisa Zane's really hot.
100%. Honestly, like I think out of the first 6, I mean, like she was just yeah, like to me, maybe because I was 13 and ready to go, you know.
Well, that was one. That was was that the first one? That was the first one I saw at the show. Like, and my dad took my sister and I mostly because we wanted it. We'd never seen a movie in 3D
Oh
in
yeah.
theaters, and that was kind of cool that the end was in 3D. But that was one I remember, because when you're 11 or 12, like every movie you just saw is your favorite movie. But that's one of the first movies I remember walking out of like, I don't think I liked it very much. But it was still, I think it's, but still at that point, the worst Elm Street movie still is more creative. Like they're trying to do something. I think that was just that series was running out of steam. There was a new era coming in, and sometimes to relate it to Howard Stern, like you can either keep going and become a shell of yourself, or you just take a break for a couple years. Because then I saw, I went to see when it came out, New Nightmare, which is I don't want to, I had a reputation on Halloweenies of just being the contrarian for contrarian's sake, but I think it's just because I'm smarter than everybody else.
You had some hot takes for sure.
I don't think, I mean, there is absolutely nothing wrong with Wes Craven's New Nightmare. It's a cool concept, but people put it like as the second best sequel. There's no way that it's better than 3 and 4.
No.
Agreed.
No.
It's not even like the first 4. Then you could do New Nightmare, and then you can go 5 and 6.
I like 2 better than New Nightmare.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Clem, I'm absolutely going to agree with you on that. But like, people just love saying the word meta, and people just like reciting the same ding dong opinions that they've read on Bloody Disgusting or on Twitter.
That's the beauty about not reading.
Like, they're the motherfuckers that discovered it.
That's the beauty about me not reading anything. I can't read.
I had an epiphany the other day. Like, there isn't one film critic that I even like to hate read anymore. Like, at least a lot of some of the guys on Chud or in their heyday, like, even if I didn't like their opinion, I'll fully admit that I went to read it to see what they said about it and say, mutter to myself that they're wrong. There's no film critic out there anymore like that. We have unfortunately democratized film criticism where there is no Siskel and Ebert anymore. There is no big, like, who's the biggest film critic in the world right now? Who would you guys say?
I would have to think like a podcaster or somebody with a
like
YouTube channel.
Media guys, but they do mostly old stuff.
I do like those guys.
Like, they're funny. I like
they did what they do, Samurai Cop. That was pretty good. That was fucking great.
Those guys, but like who, like, it's just a different.
I mean, really, Letterboxd.
I really just read the people that I follow on Letterboxd. I'm like, all right, this guy comes from a. I've seen some of his reviews. He comes from the same sensibility as me. All right, I'll go check that out. I try to go blind as much as possible.
I like something, and I'll post about it, and somebody will immediately be either be like, "Oh, okay, you like it, so I'm going to watch it," and some people will be like, "You loved it, so I'm going to hate it," and that's just the way it goes. So I completely get it. And a lot of people, like you said, when you're younger, you love every movie's your favorite, and it's so fucking true. And I think I still have some of that where it's like a movie has to be really bad for me to like fucking hate it, because like sometimes it's like, for a movie, sometimes it's just there's something about it, and you're like, all right, well, you know what? I like this. I like the kills. I like Sinners. Everyone's like masturbating over Sinners. I'm like, okay, the first half was okay, and I really like the characters, and then the second half was just like a weird, like quasi horror movie that was like okay.
Let me whine about Sinners for a minute. Sinners was fine, but I don't really remember anything about it. One of the biggest complaints I have with it is you have a great actor like who's the lead in it? What's his name?
Michael B. Jordan is
Michael
great.
B. Jordan's great.
Delroy Lindo, killer.
But why I hate the him playing his own brother, because I think in a movie like that, would have made that movie more interesting if you had another great actor playing
Robert De Niro could have played him.
Perfect. He's a method actor. He could do whatever he wants.
He could play twins too.
But have them play off of each other. Have them interact with each other, because that's the heart of the movie. And I get it, like, it's this cool special effects thing. I go having him play himself, but I don't think it was like. Did you guys watch The Deuce on HBO?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I loved it. I love
Me too.
that show.
The Deuce and Vinyl, right? Kind of like
the Deuce was because The Deuce was from the guy who did The Wire, a little soapier than The Wire. But I'm obviously a big fan of the adult industry of that era. But when you had James Franco playing brothers, and you had
shout out to the Rialto Report.
Yeah, but they had both brothers wearing mustaches, and it's like the whole point of putting a mustache on a character is so that you can differentiate If it's the same actor playing both of them, who's who? The whole first 3 episodes, I was confused which one was which because they had them playing brothers with both with mustaches. That's a stupid thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And then like you talk
I
about
can see
Sinners,
him making the choice, and I think they both would have mustaches.
yeah, like oh god. But then Sinners just becomes From Dusk Till Dawn, but not as much fun.
Yes. And like I said, I don't think I would even notice it if it wasn't for the fact that basically people telling me that it's the best movie of the year. Like if no one mentioned it, I would be like, this is a pretty cool movie. But
Oh,
I have people like tugging their cock through all, and I'm thinking like, no one's talking
That's
about
why I
bring
mentioned
her
it,
back.
because if I saw it like come up in maybe somebody's like best horror movies of the year, all right, that was your thing or whatever. But like it's getting like reviewed like it's the fucking Godfather or some shit.
It's
Like
like when Tim Stack
it's
was
at
looking at that.
automatic number one.
It's like when
right.
Tim Stack was looking at that art piece in Back to School. Like it's just like your
Well,
wife's Clint.
the best horror picture of the year is The Monkey. Did you
I
guys see The
fucking didn't
Monkey?
I fucking say that?
The monkey.
What did I say? I said all year, all fucking year. I said this, right? So, all year. I saw it in January. I guess it came out.
It
I
came
went to
out. It
the
was early in the year. It was January or
Early.
February. I remember
which
that
Yeah.
same
much.
thing with Late Night with the Devil. Like last year, it came out in January and it like ruled for long parts of the year. I saw The Monkey and it blew my fucking socks off. I was like, this is my favorite movie of the year. This is my bar.
Right.
And it wasn't until I saw Bring Her Back recently where I was like, it ruled for like 10 or 11 months. And I'm just like, all right, like The Monkey is maybe 1 or 2 now. But yeah, The Monkey's
Well,
amazing.
The Monkey, it straddles that line. It's absurd. It's darkly, like very darkly comic too. Like it doesn't really pull any
I've
punches.
seen it 3 times already.
I've only seen it the once, and I kind of I want to watch it again because
It's
I
on
want to see
Hulu.
if it still stands. But I walked out of that theater just really jazzed by that one, and I really liked Weapons. But The Monkey trumps Weapons for
I
me.
thought Weapons was really cool. It, I thought it was really cool. I didn't really understand. Like the trailer got me so psyched because I didn't know what the trailer was, and then when we went to go
Right.
see the movie, I was like, why am I following, Julia Gardner? And then when we get to Josh Brolin, I'm like, okay, so it's going to be 2 of their stories. Then you get to the third, and I'm like, okay, I kind of see what's going on here. This is pretty cool. Then you get more of that story. And some people didn't like the ending. I had a conversation today with somebody who didn't like the ending. To me, I thought it was super satisfying. By the
It
time they
was
finally,
satisfying. Yeah, it was satisfying enough because like when you're doing something that weird, what and when I mean this is the problem you just have as you get older and as you see more movies. What can somebody really do to really shock or surprise you anymore? Especially when you've seen the Faces of Death movies. You know, you've seen everything. Like I mean, Sinners. Like there's a whole generation of people who went and saw Sinners who've probably never seen From Dusk Till Dawn,
you're right.
so they are
Yeah.
quite taken with that,
Right.
and I get that. But
I
yeah,
just,
weapon. And I think that, but if I have an issue with Weapons, it's the same thing I have with Barbarian, where it's like the end kind of doesn't add up to everything before, but it doesn't have to. Like it's supernatural. Not everything needs to have I don't know
it's my high
logic.
tension. It's my high tension motto where I'm like, I
There
don't
you go.
care.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah,
It
you gave
works.
me
It's
you
surprising. It's interesting.
you gave me
Yeah.
wild shit. So all right, let's get to the topic real quick here. Because Mike, we could do 3 hours, and at this
I
point,
know.
at
I
this point,
realize
we'll
we haven't. I don't think I've finished any one of the stories that you
nah,
asked me about. So,
that's
hey,
all
if anybody wants me to finish any of the stories or explain why I'm not on the Halloweenies podcast anymore, just feel free to DM me on X
Mike,
or
do you want to explain it?
no, not.
Okay.
All I'll say is, I'll say it. I'll say this though. I really like those guys, and I was disappointed about how it all went down. And the one thing I will say about it is, I wasn't fired, for the record, because I liked those guys so much, and I saw the writing on the wall. I resigned, and I saw no reason why we couldn't all have remained friendly, but they chose not to. And like I said, it's unfortunate. It's disappointing. But I'm not a wallower. I tend not to dwell on the past. move on. Like I was Chicago's best bartender, and one day I'm going to be Chicago's best hairdresser. I'm saying it right here, right now on the show.
That's it. My girlfriend owns a
Right.
salon, so she approves.
Oh, I love it. Is she on Instagram? Is she on all that? I want. Can she look at my work and critique me, please?
Yeah, yeah. Karen, you want to look at Mike's work? I'll talk to her when she's not busy.
I do need another thing that I was accused of on Halloween is being an egomaniac, but I will admit that
Well,
I need adulation like
yeah.
anybody else. I need to be told I'm doing a good job. That's all I want sometimes.
Oh yeah, I'll have her, tell you you're the greatest. But yeah, no, like I'm totally gonna mention it, and then she'll like reach out to you. Her name's Karen.
Yeah.
But so we were having this conversation briefly online where I think you knocked Halloween 4 and 5, right?
Well, I was in the hospital 2 weeks
That's
ago.
oh yeah, that's right.
I'll tell this story.
Yeah.
So, when my life got turned upside down on May 4th, 2003, I kind of pivoted. I did some different stuff. I went to beauty school at 43 years old, which was funny because my best friend in beauty school became a 16-year-old Middle Eastern girl. And it was only because we were the first ones to show up that day. And I laughed at our class because our class looked like every community college brochure because there was the black chick, the white chick, the Mexican chick, the Middle Eastern chick, and the old man, the old white man. We were all there for the photo. It was just kind of an interesting world. And I started doing Uber Eats to make ends meet. And there's another side hustle I'll tell you about off the air. It's very funny to me.
Sure.
But I started, a friend of mine said, hey, why don't you try this out? And they sent me a link they were looking for haunted house workers. And I went down there expecting to be a bartender because they have, concessions and everything. But I never ended up in that line. I ended up in the actors line, and I auditioned, and I ended up working at a haunted house, and it's my third year doing it. And
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, which is kind of funny because it's horror adjacent, but
Yeah.
the haunter world is definitely different than the horror podcast writing world. Like, all that bullshit that's on Tubi, like those. You're like, you see that like that screen of shitty looking horror movies that all were made within the past year, and you're like, who's watching this shit?
Yes, I like Match, by the way.
It's everybody who works at the haunted house. That's
Okay.
who's watching that stuff. They watch anything that's horror related. Halloween is a lifestyle. It's a trip.
I do want to say Match was great though.
What was Match? What's hold on. What's the
Match is the one that everyone's talking about now. It's a Tubi original. I had no idea that it was Danishka. I forgot her last name. She did the Slumber Party Massacre remake in 2021, and that was really good.
I can't
Like,
remember. My short memory's been shit lately.
It went through the Sci-Fi Channel, but there's like an unrated version, like I think on Plex right now. And I watched it, and you're not remaking The Godfather here, but she took this movie, paid homage, and then did her own thing.
No, I like to hear. I think like you did your point, like do your own thing with it. I don't need another
She did.
Party Massacre. Like they did it fine because the first one's not that great.
No, but it serves its purpose. Like it's just it's no better than The Mutilator, but I've seen that 100 times.
Right. Well,
Exactly.
it's funny what we'll give a pass to from our youth that we've seen 100 times, but then we'll see like a new one of that, like, oh, that's shit, that's bullshit.
So I always try to
Match is a Tubi movie.
Match is a Tubi movie, and it's like like Right Langan, everyone's talking about it.
Oh, my Twitter. Well, I don't know where when you say everybody's talking about it. So I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was because I blew up my Twitter for a while. I disappeared for a minute. But now that I'm back on there, I don't see, even though I still have 39,000 followers, I don't see like the chatter that I used to see about horror pictures or movies. It's mostly, bullshit, political and social stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm on Blue Sky as well, and I just don't have the action over there. So when you say people are talking about it, where are you talking about? Is that on
probably
Where's the action?
I'm going to say Facebook.
Facebook.
I saw Facebook really, like, Langan, did you tap into that?
I haven't seen it yet. I have not.
No, but I'm saying, did you hear anybody talk about it? Because I feel like
you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you know what? Maybe I'm the only one.
You're
I
the
do
one
want to
talking
see
about
it. It's in my queue.
But it's a Tubi original. It's worth watching.
It's it's a vile movie, but it's funny. It's like a better made trauma movie, but
Mhm.
yeah,
You're speaking my
and
language, obviously.
it's also like feels like Barbarian as well, like a
I
little
like
bit.
Barbarian.
And the practical effects are fucking phenomenal.
All right,
There's some dong in that movie too, if that,
and Dong too. You got to be sold. I mean,
Yeah.
Sarah and I were just lamenting that over the past year or so, we've gotten very bad about watching new stuff unless we go to the movies to see it because we just put on Pluto and I'm like, oh, Trading Places is on again, and then, fuck it, let's watch it to the end though. You know,
Pluto is like like if you yeah like you could put that on. I usually try to watch Cheers for like 8 hours straight,
yeah.
but especially since when George Wendt died, I watched his Masters of Horror episode, like like I had to pay homage, and then I totally forgot he's Jason Sudeikis' fucking uncle, so little
Oh, I
Ted
didn't know that.
Lasso, yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
But
yeah.
Tubi's blessed. No, not Tubi.
Pluto. Well,
Pluto. Yeah.
Pluto's like having like regular TV again. Like I'd never seen Donnie Brasco, and I watched
Oh,
most of it the other night, and it was pretty
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's
now I
I
gotta,
I, I love.
watch, see the ending. I fell asleep. I mean, I'm also at that point where I fall asleep during movies. If I
It
switched from being a
depends.
bartender, being up until 3 and 4 in the morning, to having to be at the salon at 9. Like that first week in beauty school was miserable. Getting up at 8 o'clock every day, but then my body just got adjusted to it, like working
Yeah,
4 or 5
I've
years.
always been. Well, actually, Lang, you get up at what, 4?
Or 30. Yeah.
That extra
That
30
extra half
minutes,
hour.
I felt like you were just like
It means a
4:30.
lot.
Yeah, it means a
No, it,
lot.
it truly does. It truly does. But
You
I'm
know?
Yeah.
at I'm at the haunted
I
house
can
on.
kind of make my own time, but I like going in early and getting done and getting out of there.
Oh well, yeah, then you have the day
Yeah,
ahead of you because
exactly.
I would rather do that and then be out at 3 o'clock instead of driving home at like
It
5.
doesn't always work that way, but I try. Yeah.
But so I'm working. So now I'm working this haunted house. It's my third year at the haunted house, and I had some sort of seizure at the haunted
Oh
house
shit.
on Thursday night. I was in a room where I pull back a fireplace, then the audience goes through there, and my room partner is out front, like, giving the signal, like stomping her feet, like whatever the line of dialogue was for me to pull the fireplace back. And it doesn't happen. So she goes back there and she sees me standing there, Mike, Mike, Mike. And she taps my shoulder and she says, I just fell back like I was dead, hit the ground, whacked my head on the ground, eyes open, mouth agape. And she thought I dropped dead. Like she thought, like,
What a
because I,
place to drop dead, though.
well, that's what I'm saying. I kind of wished I had, because who
Yeah.
wants to live forever? And I
These
would have
people would
loved
have got their money's worth.
I would have
Yeah.
haunted that haunted house for the rest of the
I
time.
died in there. It was so
You would have to
scary.
But
pay. You had to pay extra for that.
yeah, so they said you should go to the hospital. So I went to the hospital. So that is a long way of getting to AMC Fear Fest.
Yes.
And I was so excited the Friday night. They kept me for like, what, a day and a half, 2 days. And I was so excited because I was going to get my MRI and they were going to bring me back Friday night. And I saw The Omen is on, right? Like, oh my God, I haven't watched The Omen in years. It's the fucking remake.
Oh no.
It's shot. Have you seen it?
I just
Liv Schreiber one? That
Yep.
no
yeah.
hate. I
Julia
just
Stiles.
no urge.
It's shot for
I've
shot the
seen
original
worse
movie,
remakes, but
but not as stylish and not as scary. And I was so mad.
exactly.
I was so mad. I was sitting in that hospital, like, you're getting all these tests done, but the thing that's making me mad is that it's the Omen remake and not the original. But then I watched Nightmare on Elm Street 3 and 4 the next morning, and then Halloween's 4 and 5, which I probably would never have sat down and watched, except for the fact that I was trapped in this hospital for
Yeah.
2 days. And that's when I started thinking, I must have been talking to you when that was happening.
It was because I take it's like my gang colors, like when someone steps to 4 and 5 and some like the genre, I'm like, please explain like what's going on. Like you don't like 4, like I understand 5, but the thing about 5 that I've mentioned to you before, Langan, is the amount of sequels we've gotten since 1989 have been so far removed from anything that resembles a Halloween that now you can
Mhm.
go back to 5 and you're like, okay, this at least feels somewhat cohesive, attached to like 4 and 1 and 2, you know, like somewhat,
Yeah.
like where you're like,
They definitely tried for a cohesion, but
yeah.
it's just not great though.
And then
You know what I
6,
mean? But then 4, what you guys are saying, like 4, I was
I love
like, it's
4.
okay, and it gets you in the mood, and for it's got such a great intro. But I tell you, when I rewatch them all like every year or whatnot, and after all these kills and ends and this and that, I look back at 4 like this one's like a jewel in the
Yes,
in the fleet.
exactly.
You guys,
Like it's a crowning jewel.
the two of you guys are on a completely different page than I was, because I even remember, even though I said like it's your favorite movie or whatever's last movie you see, I remember seeing 4 and 5 when I was 8 or 9. When they came out, when they came to home video, because
Yeah.
we didn't go to show to see those.
I love that you say the show. I love that.
I don't. I've had to explain to myself on because you guys, where do you guys go to the movies when you guys
We go to we do like Siskel and Ebert at the movies.
You go to the movies, yeah. Okay, yeah. We go to the show, and
We look at each other when it's over. We do the whole
but I remember not liking those movies when they came out. Like,
Yeah. So you're an OG hater.
I was like, I mean, I watched them, and I remember I don't think I like these movies, but having covered all this stuff on the Halloweenies podcast, I do have a theory about the Halloween sequels, that while I think it's my least favorite overall of the big franchises, because what do we say? The Elm Street movies are all good to great, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Friday the 13th ebbs and flows. Like,
sure.
That's one where I think that possibly the best Friday the 13th movie is part 4. Like,
Agreed.
If you were to, and the argument I used, if there was a time capsule and somebody asked you, what's the purest example of that series?
4, yeah.
Friday the 13th part 4, because the first one doesn't have Jason, the second one doesn't have the mask. Like, 4's got everything you want. It's almost, even though it's early in the franchise, it's kind of like a greatest hits.
Yeah. You could say 3 or 4, but the cast in 4 is just way more. It felt like more of like a cohesive movie for sure.
There's a different energy to it. Then there's the rainy night too, like the aesthetic, I think, of it. And then like I don't know, like those are the big franchises. It's like the other ones, like I mean, Hellraiser. Come on, like actually my favorite Hellraiser is 3.
Yeah,
and I don't mind. I like 4 quite a bit.
Once again, so I saw 4 in theaters, and after seeing 1, 2, and 3, I was like, this. I couldn't even wrap my head around that they were already in space, but everything that came after that was so fucking bad, and obviously to hold on to the rights, that now you go back to 4 and you're like, oh, this is fucking like Picasso basically. You're like, okay.
And to that point about because all that bullshit Hellraiser direct-to-video stuff. Back, in when I was in the thick of Halloweenies, I made it a point, along with my old co-host Justin, to watch all the Amityville pictures and all of the Howling pictures, which there were sequels that were better than you'd expect.
It's About Time.
Really?
It's About Time's very good.
Yeah, that's very Tony good. Randall. I'm pretty sure Randall, who did Hellraiser 2.
Yes, and Hellraiser 2 is cool. I like 3. I like that kind of rock.
We had Anthony Hickox on the show who directed that.
Anthony Hickox, I know this word gets thrown around, but maybe he doesn't. Maybe he's not underrated anymore. But Warlock, Hellraiser 3,
Waxwork 1 and 2, yeah,
1 and 2. Like I'd be happy with that filmography.
Can I tell you our story?
I'm pretty sure he's into kink. I'm pretty sure he is a wild man in the bedroom.
Can I tell you?
100% convinced of that.
Can I tell you our Anthony? Can I tell you my favorite Matt Dillon story?
Yes.
So, my buddy Rob G. Like, I was like, yo, I really want to talk to Anthony Hickox, and like, we find random people enough where it's like, they're like, who? They're like, okay. So like Rob G. like hooked it up. I think he got me the email and the okay for me to email him. We get him. He's living in Romania.
Right.
And we do an hour podcast with him. He tells us the best stories. He tells about working with Steven Seagal and how Steven Seagal almost made him quit directing because it was so like.
What movie was that?
Submerge, like 2005. And he was fucking like, he told us all these great stories, and I couldn't believe it. And then when we hung up, I realized that
Oh no.
my fucking what are we on? Zoom never,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
my Zoom, like, usually it pops up and it starts
Yeah.
mixing it down, and it never did. And I was like, I don't think I ever hit record.
Jesus.
Yeah,
My
and
greatest fear. My
Fuck.
greatest fear. I
he
don't
yeah,
think I
and he
had that
died. Do you
happen
know
to
he
me.
died, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he died. He died like a few months after we talked to him.
So did you ever
Yeah.
get to do the second interview with him?
Nope.
So
Nah.
all that had
because
gone to shit.
because Putin started his invasion,
Oh
and it
my
was close
god.
because he was worried about that.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, he's like, it's getting kind of weird around here with blah blah blah. And I was just like, okay, cool. Like,
Did
it
he
was.
did he talk to you about dating Deborah Foreman? Because they were an item for a while.
No, I wish I would have. I wish I would
Oh
have.
yeah. I'm
Yeah,
definitely interested in what was going on with those two. I'm sure, like I said, I'm convinced it was kinky, but maybe that's
yeah.
just my fantasy.
I missed
But
out on that
back to the Halloween franchise, I
one.
feel like
Yeah.
all the sequels are pretty much junk except for Ends, which
Wow.
I am one of the people that really like Ends. But
Langan, who? Sorry.
Sam's the
Oops.
other one.
which one? Wait, what?
I'm I'm
Sam's the other one that likes it.
I'm a Halloween. I'm a Halloween anthropologist.
I ain't even apologizing. I think it's a
He had
great
a
picture.
Corey mask for this year,
Um,
right?
Yeah, I
Didn't
but
did.
the Halloween sequels, just about all of them. Like, if we go down the line, there's a handful of holes in my hypothesis. The Halloween sequels always have awesome endings, like the best endings that they walk back completely in the next movie.
Yeah. And when you told me that, I really got to thinking about that, and I was like, wow, it's like, you really might have a point because, you know, like the sequel to two, like, right? Like, so
Well,
two,
here, let's run down the line. Let's talk about the
good.
first
Yeah.
movie. First, the
Yeah.
first movie is obviously. Do we all agree that the first Halloween picture is a great horror movie? Great movie.
It'll always be the one and two punch for me. Like, you go watch those two movies in a row and it feels like one, even though Rosenthal directed it, it's just like that Dean Cundy, like, look, just, it felt like one
The
movie,
aesthetic,
but yeah. Yeah.
aesthetically, they blend in really well.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't think I'm going out on a limb here saying Rosenthal is just not as talented a director
Sure. Yeah.
as John Carpenter is,
Which we'll later find out.
and Dick Warlock just doesn't have, for me, the rock and roll energy, and that's what it is about Nick Castle. Nick Castle doesn't walk like a stuntman. Nick Castle walks like a musician. So that's what I don't think they've ever gotten Michael Myers right since one. Back to Nightmare on Elm Street 2, I think we all know about there's that one shot. There's that one shot in the shower where they have the lumbering Freddy Krueger. You know what I'm talking about? The shadow
Yeah.
when he's killing the gym coach.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a stunt man because they thought they were going to do the movie without Robert Englund. And they saw that shot, they saw the dailies, and they're like, nah, we got to bring him back. Like, there's something about an actor, the way an actor moves versus the way a stuntman moves. So
Yeah.
you have that first ending where if it just stopped right there, that's a great ending. The evil's
It
still
is.
out there, right?
Yeah.
It's unnerving, it's terrifying, and it starts the trend of great Halloween endings. You guys have anything you wanted to say about the first movie's ending?
No, like you said, it's perfect. Even if it would have stopped there, right? It's just, you'll always remember. It's like when you think of the thing, it's like, well, who was the thing?
Right.
It's something that you'll always like bring with you, and like you'll wait, and then Carpenter will be like, yeah, I'm not telling you.
Hold on. Have you guys been seeing the reels or whatever you want to call them that have been going around? Like Carpenter did some interview at this big dork
Oh,
convention.
about the substance?
Well, that's one of the things he comments on, but like
That's the only one I saw.
and I am tickled by the absolute disdain that John Carpenter has for dorks. Like it tickles me to no end. Like I feel like he's the only director that gets away with it. I feel like if it was anybody else, the horror fans would turn on him and call him a cocksucker or whatever. But he's such a dick because he talks about the thing and he refuses to and the fact that people are still answering these questions like they're gonna get him to or asking him these questions like they're
Yeah.
gonna get him to answer it is absolutely asinine. I interviewed John Carpenter once.
We just saw him live.
He's
What
great.
last month? Doing the movie thing.
And he was kind of an ass when I interviewed him. You could tell he didn't want to.
What'd you interview him for?
Well, that's just it. It's a funny story to me because there was this guy who I used to follow, and I'm not even like being cagey, but I used to follow him, and he fancied himself a horror journalist, and he interviewed Carpenter, and I was like, well, fuck, if that guy can do it, I can do it. So Sandy Carpenter and I were friendly enough on social media, and I said I want to interview him for Daily Grindhouse. The pitch of my interview was that I wanted to talk to him as a musician, not as a director.
Oh, that's how you got him.
Well, then he didn't answer any of the questions. He just was like, I got him to talk a little bit about the Dave Clark Five. But the infuriating part about the whole thing was he was on Mick Garris's podcast like a year later.
Yes,
And Mick Garris did the interview that I wanted to do.
Oh,
he
like
got him
the
talking
DeVilles,
about the bands that he played in and all
yeah.
that shit. And I'm like, man. And I don't know if it was because he knows Mick Garris or because he's standoffish or whatever. But yeah, the absolute disdain that John Carpenter has for a lot of his fan base tickles me to no end.
It is pretty funny.
They all think that he's their friend. And it's like,
yeah.
No, he's not. He doesn't think about you at all. Like I remember when Barbie came out, and he's like, I didn't like it. Like any other old elderly white man who expressed that he didn't like Barbie would have been crucified by the Twitter community. But Carpenter got a pass, so good for him. Maybe I guess he's just that charming. He's that affable.
I hated Barbie. Did we hate Barbie, Langan? I don't remember.
I didn't like it.
I didn't like
it. Was too on. I get what it was doing, but like it's too on. When it's that on the nose, it's just like, come on.
And later, and that year,
it looked cool. You know?
And that year, Poor Things came out.
I wish they had stayed in the Barbie world for the whole movie.
Me too.
Because I thought the set design on that, it was like,
Oh
like
yeah, that was cool.
It was like a gayer Palm Springs.
Yeah. I love Palm Springs.
Oh, Palm Springs is awesome.
Yeah. But that year, Poor Things came out later, and I was like, everything you're trying to say, this movie just said tenfold, so much better. But I get it. No one's gonna, people. I get it. Way more accessible.
Barbie's been around, forever. Like it's gonna.
For sure.
That's what's gonna get the press.
Shout out to America.
Let's move on to Halloween 2. So, Halloween 2. I liked Halloween 2 when I was younger, and I feel like I grew out of it. I always tell people I like the first half of Halloween 2 better than the second half. And to your point, it's a lot to do with Dean Cundy's cinematography. It matches the aesthetic so well. Like they have that cut, like a fan cut, where they put the two of them together, where you can watch them as one 3-hour movie.
Yeah.
But the second half is where it just turns into a Friday the 13th clone. Everything that it shouldn't be. But again, an ending, and it gives it
definitive. Yeah, definitive.
He's dead. Loomis is dead. And then the real question is, do you prefer the TV ending where Lance Guest turns out to be alive in the ambulance, or do you just like Laurie staring off into space?
We recently just watched it. My girlfriend never saw the Lance Guest version, so I was like, oh, let's just watch it. She didn't know. I prefer the original without like the happy ending. She's like, we did it, we made it, but like I get why they would do it. I guess somewhat, what I mean? Like he was pretty useless the whole movie.
Why you shoot both of them? But like I just watched the original theatrical ending of 2 today. Like just the ambiance with the fog and everything. Like I stayed up partying on Halloween night, and that morning felt very authentic, despite it being in LA. But it felt very authentic to an Illinois November 1st morning when you're waking up after being out all night drinking and doing drugs on Halloween weekend.
Nice, man. I missed out. I should have did that.
Oh yeah, Halloween was it was a week-long event when I was in my 20s. Like
without a doubt. Yeah.
Friday, Saturday, and maybe even a Sunday. But yeah. I was always kind of a traditionalist. It's like once it's November 1st, though, Halloween's over.
That's it.
On to something else.
Well, I dragged it on.
The haunted house went till last night, so we were still busy on the first and the second at the haunted.
And I think so, yeah, because like the haunts here went, because Halloween was Friday, so then they went Saturday, Sunday. So I get it.
There were still people there. It's wild to me. So Halloween 2 ending.
Yeah, definitive. I think the definitive, like once again, it's just like if whatever wasn't done in the first one. I just remember, and I think I saw part 2 first as a kid. I really do. Because I don't think I probably saw it on TV.
I
Uh,
couldn't tell you which one I saw first, but I don't think I saw either one of them in its entirety. And as a kid, I had this theory or this idea, this concept of what the Halloween movies were. I thought one movie was about Michael Myers and the other movie was about the boogeyman.
mm,
I couldn't
Wow.
differentiate them in my head,
Right.
so that's what I always thought until I actually,
Mike,
probably when I was
you were right, Mike.
yeah, 100%. Well, I usually am. To be fair, I usually am. I was always the
Yeah.
one who was 100% right on the Halloweenies podcast.
But
Um,
two killer ending, right, Langan?
okay,
Absolutely. Loved it.
and that finality, I'm like, uh, and Loomis is dead too. They're both dead after that one, and it's like I almost feel like it is Carpenter saying, "God damn it, there's gonna be no more of these. We're done." I mean, because we know. John Carpenter ultimately wanted the job. Who was I comparing him to? Because I was looking at the directors of Halloween movies. I think ultimately John Carpenter wanted to be more Rick Rosenthal than John Carpenter. John Carpenter just wanted to be a guy who directed television, who directed movies, like as a jobber, if you will. Going back to the wrestling conversation. Like I don't think he ever really necessarily wanted to be an auteur,
I mean,
but because Halloween was such a success, that's what happened.
so like yeah, the way he described it was like, hey, this is what they wanted to make, and I was like, I wanted to make it, so I'm like, yeah, why not? And
Yep.
then the same thing, he's like, I said no to two, they offered me this amount of money, and we're like, sure.
It is kind of wild to me that he actually did write too.
Yeah,
So, like it must have been a lot of fucking money because he
I
does
guess
seem
so.
to have some. He seems to have disdain for that movie too.
Yeah,
He has a lot of disdain. He has a lot of hate in his heart, John
he's
Carpenter.
angry because no one liked the ward.
The ward wasn't that bad.
No, I don't know.
I don't remember
Yeah.
anything about, but I'm telling you right now, I watched it and I'm like, I don't remember anything about that movie, but it didn't feel like a John Carpenter picture.
No, 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 absolutely not. I didn't even know. I think Sydney Sweeney, like a young Sydney Sweeney, was in that.
That's right, she is in
Yeah.
that, and hey, we can sidetrack off this just for a moment. Like, Sidney Suda got a raw deal this summer with that whole thing about the American Eagle ad.
I mean, that's like, first of all, I've never even heard anyone say it in real life. So I almost think it's like an
Right.
internet thing that it didn't even, I'm like, this ain't real. There's no way that this is real. Considering that Euphoria is like, like the most representation full show ever. It's
Right.
like, oh, dudes want to make out, it's like they, thems and fucking old, like Euphoria had everything like that.
Kind of relating to that, like I said, we definitely don't need to dive into this too much, but the whole Charlie Kirk thing. I said that was a good test to see how terminally online you are, because I was actually surprised I didn't get a text from my parents. Who is this guy?
Oh
Because
yeah.
people who live in the real world, to your point, who didn't know about this American Eagle controversy, don't talk about this. It's just people who live in this bubble
For
online.
sure. Like it was like at first you read it and it's like this can't be real, and then like I never heard anyone in real life say that. It was just this thing, and like like rage bait is real. Like it's like, and I always see people fall for it. I'm like, yeah, we're like how long how deep into the social media game are we? Like 20
Yeah.
plus years? And I'm like, you don't see like literally what this whole point is. It's
Yeah.
like, people get money off clicks. Okay, you got to keep, it's like I work for this site and it's like as long as I get this amount of clicks, it's like, oh yeah. Like what I saw today? That kid from the Scream movies, Matthew Lillard.
Oh,
It's like
what was
Matthew
he
Lillard said,
host?
"Fuck,
He
fuck
hosted a
ice."
he hosted a Scream thing about the movie Scream,
Yeah,
and then the only headline is he said "fuck ice," and it's like, okay, good
yeah,
for him. But
good for him. But it's like
cool for him. Cool for him.
good for you, pal. And it's just basically people, and I guess I don't know. Some people still fall for it. They're like, let me click onto this. Let me just see how.
Well, in my minor bit of I won't even call it fame. I guess we call it notoriety. Maybe call it infamy. Like I hate I'll be posting all day. I'll post like the hair color I just did, the haircut I did, or my band has a show coming up. Nothing, nothing, nothing. But the minute I make kind of like even like, and I don't really necessarily like making social or political statements, but like the minute I make something even relating to that, 30 comments on there,
Yeah,
either saying I'm right, which is nice, or calling me some sort of fucking asshole. Like, here's a funny story. Like
algorithm.
one of the guys who stuck by me throughout my whole scandal was this guy. who owns Cigars and Stripes, the place I used to host horror pictures at. And now he's a Trumper. He is. Like, never really bothered me about him. He's still my friend. You know, I can live in a world where these two things are
Sure.
happen. But remember when Trump got shot 2 years ago?
Yes.
You guys have both seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit, right?
Yes.
So I did a Photoshop where I put the dum dum bullets next to him, and Ronnie unfriended me on Facebook.
Oh, wow.
And I went in there. Well, and I went in there just to get lunch one day, and I ended up talking to him about it in the back, and he's like, you know, I'd never say anything like that about Biden. And I had to tell him, I said, first off, yes, you would. And secondly, Biden's not my boyfriend.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't like it's a joke. Like, why are you so bent out of shape about this?
Someone
Because sometimes people on the right, like, oh, you guys do this thing where you won't be friends. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. You're the one doing that.
Yeah.
And to your point about, like, nobody can see through this. Everybody thinks they're the smartest person in the room, but they can't understand that we are being, and it's not Democrat or Republican. It's rich versus poor, in my opinion.
It is rich versus poor, yeah, for sure. And it's like, yeah, it's like it's so real. Like the rage bait is so real, and you watch it. And listen, like everyone's normal. Sometimes you read something or you see something, and you're like, and then I'm like, wait, what do I give a fuck? Like I just like,
well, yeah, like you kind of want to get in there. You want your opinion heard. You want your opinion heard. Like I was drinking with my friend Pat last night, and we were talking. Well, we were talking about Scream because the girls that got fired from the other movies.
Oh, Melissa Barrera.
We're speaking out about Gaza. Like I'm not gonna sit. I don't have a horse in that race one way or the other. But first off, I'm kind of surprised they got fired because I think they were pro Gaza, which seems to be the more populist opinion amongst that. But also, and we related it to Gina Carano on The Mandalorian. Like,
absolutely, yeah.
Do you think your political opinion means that much that you're going to turn down that fuck you Disney money? Like, are you fucking stupid? Like,
I think it's just like weird lottery tickets, man. Like nothing ever makes sense, and it's like, that's why I learned like on social media. Like I at a certain point, I said to myself, I'm like, the podcast, the band, and music videos, and that's really it. Because it's like, it's not really like a public. It's not like a forum to basically have these like conversations because I don't know. It's just like
should be in theory, it should be, but nothing
fruitless.
actually gets solved on it.
Fruitless.
I had that weird time, in 03. I kind of exiled myself from social media quite a bit, definitely from Twitter, which was my favorite social media. And
you're killing it on Twitter.
Thank you very much. But I was better off without it. I didn't when I was off Twitter for that year. I did not care what Phil Nobile from Fangoria had to say about anything.
Yeah,
it didn't even enter my mind. But when you live terminally online, like a lot of us who do media, be it podcasting, filmmaking, music, because you have to be on there to promote your stuff, you do kind of fall into this world where this stuff means a lot more to you than it actually does. But in the real world, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. And yeah, man, not like I'm some like enlightened fool, but like one day, and this was like probably like 10 years ago, like arguing with someone in like Michigan.
Yeah.
I'm like, one day I'm just like, why do I care that this guy, like, I don't even know this person. And then from that moment on, I was like, I'm like, what I don't care. Like, I really don't give a fuck. Like, it's not like, it's such a like weird, minute opinion or conversation. It's not like, he's saying like, yeah, I'm pro murder, and I'm like, no, I'm not pro. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like so
There's
insignificant.
no nuance, right?
Yeah, it's just, there's no nuance. There's no nuance, and like the pylons with like it's just, I'm like, and that's what
bullies. People get off on being bullies. Like, I mean, you watch it happen. It kind of happened to me. Like nobody, like, everything. Again, like if anybody wants the full story on this, just DM me and I'll tell you about it. We don't need to go on the podcast. Or maybe we'll do it for your Patreon. We'll make you a little bit of money. If anybody actually came to me and asked me like, hey, what's going on with this? You could have gotten my side of the story and then made your own opinion, but nobody cares about that. not nobody, but like the loudest, most ignorant voices on the internet are always going to be the ones that are heard, I suppose.
I think
Back to
so. And
your thing about fighting. I posted a video of a haircut I did on my brother, and some guy, chimes in on TikTok. Why didn't he go to a real barber or something like that? And I'm this motherfucker, and I'm like, he's got no picture on his account. He's got no followers.
yeah,
And one thing I have learned, and I don't, this is like I said, to your point about not being enlightened, I'm not the only one who's ever said this. Nothing hurts somebody like that more than completely being ignored. Don't give it the air. Do not give it the air. Although
yeah,
you have it in your heart where you're like, I want to tell this motherfucker what's what. Like, you have to
yeah.
bury that deep inside and say, just move on. Like, I guess that's if I have a theme of this podcast, just move on, go forward, go to the next thing.
I think that's what it is. I think everything is troll versus troll these days. So it's like, I'm good. I don't want to play.
Yeah, no, it's too bad because Twitter was fun. Twitter used to be so much fun if you
Everything's
could
always
ignore
fun
the
until it's
trolls.
not.
Yeah, absolutely. But and another theme that I bring up is nothing lasts forever, right? Like Twitter was going to run its course, and for me, it has. Like I'm still there. I'm still picking at the bones a little bit because I need something to do when I'm on the plasma bed. I should be
Yeah.
writing a song or coming up with material for the haunted house or doing something productive, but it's easier just to jump between these 3 or 4 apps and see if anybody's commenting on any of the dumb shit that you're saying.
Take all that song, like that's like usually, well, like when you've been with someone for so long, like me and my girlfriend, like you go to other places for like inspiration for like songs. And
Sure. I
it's
mean, like when I was in Romero's, like all my songs were about love gone wrong, like rarely about love gone right. But then it's like now I think of myself as a
no one
45
wants
year
to
old
hear about
man
love gone right.
who's been who's been dating a girl for like over 5 years now. Like you have, like you said, you have to dive in somewhere else or do something that's metaphorical, right?
Well, yeah, because like we wrote a song Emily Rugburn about like almost famous. We wrote a song. I wrote a song about a documentary on Netflix called Bad Vegan. All these like little things where it's just like, yeah, like, well, what are we gonna sing about?
Well, one of my favorite songs that I ever wrote, it was towards the end of Romero's, was a song called "So Beautiful, So Dangerous." I don't think it's about anything, but the title came. It was a title from one of the segments in the movie Heavy Metal,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and I was just like, that'd be a cool song title.
yeah, yeah.
And I don't think. I mean, like I said, I am at a point now where you're older. Do you ever kind of forget what you wrote something about?
No,
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 pretty good about remember what the inspiration was.
yeah.
No,
And
Goofy, but you're not having seizures either. So my short term
no,
memory's been fucked.
but I'm obese, so that helps. But I think I've written. Oh, like I calculated, right? We counted. Might have been like 140 songs right now. And I think if I go through all of them, I think I remember.
Do you make money doing the band? You don't mind me asking?
I'll tell you off air.
Okay, all right. Because I was playing in a Cars tribute band
Yeah.
for a spell,
Oh,
which I
tribute
got fired.
bands.
I
Yeah.
got fired from.
Yeah.
I played on a Friday, got fired on
For
Sunday
being too
morning.
right.
Well, no, it was I didn't sound enough like I didn't sing as well as Rick Ocasek, which was kind of embarrassing because Rick Ocasek never had like the best voice in the world. And I don't know. I feel like I need to set the record straight about this. Like, I don't know because I heard half the band wasn't in favor of it, right? But the band leader, who outside of raising Rick Ocasek from the dead, was never going to get the level of perfection that he wanted.
Yeah.
And even then, he'd say, you don't sound like you did on the record. And Rick would be like, well, I've been dead for 6 years. Like, what do you want me to do? I think they had, because they're still playing shows. And like I said, I don't dwell on things, so I don't know what they're doing. But I'm pretty sure they got a girl, like, doing my parts, which is funny to me. Because it's like, oh, you found the one person who sounds less like Rick Ocasek than I
You
do.
might have inspired them to go less sounding like Rick
Well,
Ocasek.
in my opinion, because they had these 2 girls that joined the band who were very nice to do backup vocals, which the Cars never had female backup vocals. But the leader of the band, he definitely felt like every ding dong bar owner I knew in my 20s who thought if they hired hot chicks, like that was the secret, that was the answer to bringing action into your bar.
I feel like in 1987 that might have worked. I feel like
Oh, it never was because hot chicks just bring in creepy dudes, and creepy
yeah,
dudes don't bring. You want women around your bar. You
yeah.
don't want more creepy dudes at your bar.
So
But
so basically you get hot dudes to work
that
for you. Is that what you said?
like me,
Yeah.
obviously. Well, I was 45, so I was the youngest guy in that band. Everybody else was in their
Fucking
50s. It was kind of
spring chicken.
fun being the young buck in that
Uh
band.
so I'm gonna like we never really go past like an hour and change at
Oh,
this point. But Mike, we could basically just do like a continue. We'll do like another episode like next month, and we'll continue to deep dive on like the Halloween thing
I'm
because
into it.
I think what we could do, we just I don't know, we just keep talking because there's so many topics. I mean, we could do this for like 8 hours, I guarantee you.
Sure.
But I think like we're at like the hour and 23
Oh,
minutes.
geez, I didn't realize. Well, I apologize for
No,
being so
no,
Don't
verbose.
apologize,
no, there's
man.
nothing to apologize over. This is like, this is Halloween one. We'll get to Halloween two after.
We sort of touched on two. I think we could start with three. I think we could
I
start with
just meant in the
Think so?
episodes. I just meant
Oh,
the
well,
like.
there you go.
This
There
was
you
the
go. Well,
first
in the next
movie.
one, well, the thing is, if we do another episode, we have to find out that you and I are brothers.
Oh my God, I can't. You know what? Knowing my dad, I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. He had a pair of those shoes that you're not supposed to have.
Oh, I know those shoes. I know
Yeah.
those shoes. I know those shoes.
Yo, like that Billy Corgan
Well,
fucking that Billy Corgan, like his dad, like that what was that Bill Burr thing, remember? Like
oh
where
yeah.
he's like, I think we're brothers, and Bill Burr's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I fucking love it. But yeah, I mean, like I said, we could just keep going, but I think this is good. Like it gives people 80 minutes to listen to,
Yeah.
and then we'll just come back because like it's like for us to like really go further into the Halloween thing, I think we're gonna need more time,
No,
right?
I agree with that, and I think next time we could stay more. There was a lot of kind of catching up.
Yeah. Oh, there was.
Stage on.
But also like, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe we won't even get to it next episode. Who knows?
Well, I mean, like I said, I can.
That's okay too, though.
My schedule's pretty wide open these days, so like
Okay.
I kind of live by the seat of my pants. So making time to come out, and it's just a pleasure sitting here chatting with you guys. Like I
For
said, it's
sure.
Yeah, man.
That's the problem though. It's like we could do this, like we from even the first episode. Yeah, there was something about listening to you on the Halloweenies episode. I mean, on the whole show, where I was like, there was something relatable about you, obviously minus the accent, because we have Long Island, you have you have your Chicago, but
what accent?
the the Bears. But you just seemed like the guy. I'm like, oh, I like this guy, and then like you're. I mean, listen, anytime someone says Stone Cold Fox, like you just had the same takes that I did, and so immediately, like I don't even remember, like I was like, I think I'm gonna reach out to him, and then like the first episode we had together, where I was like, this is so much fun. We talk
That
Stern,
was a great time. Like I
yeah.
mean, the other Halloweenies were kind of square. I mean, not really. I mean, in real life, like I did a lot of blow with Mike Roth. This isn't going on the air, is it?
Oh, I could cut it off if you want.
Who cares? I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean,
Shout out to Mike.
I did a lot of drugs with my co-host, and we partied and everything like that. But
Yeah.
you're not the. My point, I guess, is being that you're not the only person that has said that about that show. Was that I did bring a little bit more of a relatable element to it, despite the fact that I think that I sound like kind of a dork when I talk about things.
I think
too.
everyone, right? Like when you listen
Little
to
dorks.
people, yeah, like when you listen to someone on the podcast, like aside, like maybe if you're like in Mob Deep or something, and like you don't sound like a dork, but like for anyone else, like sitting here, speaking the king, the queen's English, or whatever, like, it's like, well, like we're sitting here fucking dissecting the ending of a Halloween movie, like,
Well,
you know.
there's an element of ridiculousness to the whole thing. Like again, like I couldn't believe the fact that I was making as much money as I was on that podcast month to month to sit and talk about sleepaway camp and offer
Yeah.
like these kind of very deep. I did the work. That's another thing. I did the work on it. I'm not saying anybody else didn't, but I would sit and I would go through newspapers.com and I would try to find interesting hooks or like interesting aspects to talk about these things because that's what I like to listen to. I guess it was like the same thing with like when you're playing in a band. or making a movie. Like, make the movie you want to see, write the song that you want to hear. And I was just trying to do the podcast that I wanted to listen to.
Yeah, I loved it. Like I said, it was just I think it was around the time where maybe I was getting into listening to podcasts, and I don't really listen to anything religiously. I go through maybe breaking points every day, but that's like news. But it's like Halloweenies was one of those. Postmortem was another one. Shockwaves. Certain things where it's like, but I wouldn't listen to everything. I would listen to the ones that I did hate that everyone on Halloweenies hated Halloween 2018. Like you guys hated it.
Oh
And I
man,
was so upset. But now looking back,
sure.
like I think like the what is it, the fucking honeymoon wore off, right? And
Yeah,
now
oh,
just
yeah,
like
no,
look,
Yeah,
because you're just so excited to have this.
Force
that's it.
Awakens.
And I mean, that's what I called it, the Shape Awakens, in my Daily Grindhouse
Oh,
review, because
okay. That's
I
funny.
saw it down at
That's funny.
Fantastic Fest, and when I read that review, I think I read a little bit of it recently. I was thinking about it. I don't think I was harsh enough on Halloween 2018 because I had my own. But who cares? We got Halloween Ends out of the
Yeah,
deal, which is the
yeah.
best Halloween sequel.
Except for the one thing that they should have done, which was the Silver Shamrock tie-in.
Oh,
Like
with the gas
really,
factory at the
Mhm.
end.
yes,
Yeah.
that would have just made it a little. Also, great soundtrack. That Johnny Goth song. They
The
had
one
Sebadoh.
Midnight Monsters Hop is one of my favorite tunes off of that soundtrack, and they have the Cramps on it.
Cramps, Sebadoh. They had
Yeah.
It's
Sebadoh on it.
got a real aesthetic to it. But yeah, I think that's a curse of having. If you look at, I was looking at the writers of all those movies. Like, there's just too many writers on Kills,
Too many
and I think
riders.
that's it, because the ending. Like, if I have a complaint about Halloween Ends, like, I'm not necessarily sure it sticks the themes, sticks the landing in the end with the themes. You know,
And
but again,
David.
I haven't watched it in a minute, but I definitely can relate to having an entire town turn on you for a
That's true
mistake
too.
that you made. Like,
And David Gordon Green, David Gordon Green went on to do The Exorcist, Langham, which you thought was the worst movie ever, and everyone hated it so much that he's like, I'll pass on these other two.
I forgot about that. Did I see that?
Atrocious. If you haven't, don't even try
I
out
mean,
of morbid
I
curiosity.
think The Exorcist is essentially untouchable. Like, I don't
Yeah.
think they'll ever be able to do another. I mean, I think the best Exorcist sequel is actually Repossessed. Like, that's the only way you can do it, is by turning into a straight comedy.
Oh,
Because technically that's a
Repossessed
sequel to
with
The
Leslie
Exorcist.
Nielsen.
Because
Yeah.
technically it follows up the events of The Exorcist.
That's so funny. I didn't even think
Because
that's fun.
I've watched Exorcist 2 or 3 times. It's no good. These people that think Exorcist 3 is good, they are just blinded by the internet, and they like that one jump scare with the nun, but it's not a good picture. It's not scary. I don't think it offers anything to the series. Did I watch it? There was a TV show. Was it the
There was a
TV
TV
show
show.
that David Gordon Green did?
No, he did. He made the
No, he
movie.
just did the film. They announced there
True,
was
True
going to be like a
Believer.
trilogy.
It was
He
True
made the
Believer.
one movie, and it sucked so bad. That was the end of it.
I just remember you being very angry.
It was so. It was an insult.
I'm looking. I'm like
You know what? You make the best Eastbound and Down, all that shit. Righteous Gemstones. He was like,
oh,
just
Gemstones is great. Like,
you do that so well. You don't have to do everything.
no, like, maybe horror's just not your thing. Well, that was a big complaint I had with the Halloween 2018, is like, I think we all wanted, or at least I think what I wanted was, if you're gonna do this and you're gonna do this kind of serious reboot, make it serious, make it have gravitas, make it a drama. But then you'd have that thing where the kid's talking about being a dancer with his dad in the car, which is such like a David Gordon Green, like, Righteous Gemstones conversation. Like, you can tell the writing, or like the scene where, like,
Toby
you
Husk,
have the whole. You
the
have this
dad.
movie where Laurie's dealing with alcoholism, right? She's dealing with trauma, but then she have that scene where she chugs the glass of wine for a laugh,
Yeah.
and
The dad too, like the guy from the Toby Husk, right? That's the name. Where he's
yeah,
like, I got peanut butter on my dick or something. I was like, what's going on right now?
and maybe that works in a different kind of movie. I'm certainly not one, like, you have to, you can't just be absurdist, but it wasn't the movie that any of us. I don't think it was a movie anybody really wanted.
All right. Well,
from that series.
Mike, it was awesome to catch up with you. like I said, man, I'm a fan of everything you do. Obviously, we always stay in touch online, and I'm gonna
I
have my
love hearing
girlfriend.
from you. I always love
Yeah,
chatting with you because,
me too.
again, it is sort of
Genuinely, me too.
confirmation
Yeah,
bias because I
yeah,
know that you and I are cut from the same cloth, the things we
yeah.
like and dislike. But
Same
we
dad.
also we and that's what makes friendship fun when you talk about movies when you're not always on the same page.
Absolutely. Long live Halloween 4. I'm gonna have my girlfriend critique some of your work. Her
Yeah,
name's
take a look
her
at some
name's
of my artwork.
Karen. Her name her name's Karen. So you look out for that. And Mike, we'll do
Yes,
then
come back, man.
we'll in December. We'll do like next month. We'll do another
Yeah,
one.
that sounds great to me. That sounds awesome to
That'd
me.
be perfect.
All right, buddy.
Thanks for
Cool,
having me,
man.
guys.
Later.
Absolutely.